All right, so a little bit of my testimony. I was talking to one of my friends last night. Yeah, I was telling them this story. So I'm not going to bore you with the whole 58 years, but it was about 1992. No, 94, 95. I was living in Missouri, Lowry City, Missouri. I was married. I had 2 kids. Rented a little house on the corner, and I had just opened my very first business. I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door for about 9 years for about 9 years. So I had just opened this office, and for a little background, I was a street kid. I was on the street by the time I was 15. And everything that goes along with it. County jail. By this time, I had already been married and divorced once. Drugs had just decimated my life. So to be married with a wife and a couple of kids and a successful business living in Missouri was quite a stretch from where I started. So, I remember it was my very first month in business. And I sold enough equipment to double my inventory, pay all my bills, and I had $9,000 left over. Now, this was the 90s. And I just remember thinking, wow, I made it. I finally made it. And I was driving down Highway 13. And my very next thought was, and I can't believe it, but I wish I wasn't straddled with this wife and kid. I'm finally successful. Now, by this point, I'm already cheating on my wife. And I'm still going to church, though. So it's just, the guilt's just eating me up. It's killing me, and I'm driving down Highway 13, and I'm just bawling. And I pull over, and I say this prayer, and I say, hey, God, listen. I can't take the guilt anymore. I need you to leave me alone. I know I'm probably going to regret this, but I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I've never been successful by myself. And I can't handle this guilt. Got my car and drove away. Put my car in park and drove away. Within 2 weeks, my wife had found movie tickets in my pocket. And I guess I somehow thought that was a sign. And I didn't even argue with her. I just went home, got my shit, and left. 120 days later, I was sitting in San Diego County Jail looking at 125 years to life for a string of armed robberies that me and my girlfriend pulled off. And yeah, so it's 2 things that I learned from this, and that one, that God absolutely answers prayer. And the second thing I learned is that God very rarely gives us exactly what we ask for, because it never turns out good. Thankfully, though, He uses it for His glory. Because I'm here making this video. But back to the story. So I was subsequently sentenced to 20 years in the California Department of Corrections. And while I was there, I tried every religion there was. I read all of it. I just couldn't figure out why I was such a bad person. What the frick was wrong with me? But I just spent the next 15 years trying to figure it out. I tried every religion, every form of spirituality, all the humming, all the chanting, all the posing, all the stuff. I studied evolutionary psychology, evolutionary biology, parenting classes, anger management. I mean, I really tried to find the truth. No luck. I just learned a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't work. In retrospect, I know that was our Father leading me through the wilderness. You know, I really believe He left me out there to hear all the other voices so that when I made it here, I would recognize His. I really believe that. Because nothing ever fit, man. I got out in 2014 and still had no God. Spent the next 8 years in Alcoholics Anonymous, praying to the universe. But I was helping people. So, you know, I think maybe God gave me, I don't know, I can't even guess. But in the interim, I was able to build a successful business. I attribute that to helping people. I'll just say that. So I get out, 9 years in, and I have a nervous breakdown. My friends and I had started a company, and we had 7 facilities and a whole bunch of shenanigans. I started having a couple of heart attacks, and I just got out of there. Still had no God. Still praying to the universe. Still as deep in sin as I ever was. Maybe even more so. Then it all came to a head, and I had to check into a mental facility for a few weeks. I needed a timeout. Because what I had just done is throw a hand grenade into the middle of my life. Not a real one. A metaphorical one. And I fired everybody in my life, and it was just me. And so I started a new business, and I thought I'd give Jesus another try, and well, that didn't work. Then I found the Torah movement, and I thought I'd found it. So I did all the things, and I kept the feasts, and I did all the stuff, but at the same time, I was still prepping. I was still buying ammunition and, you know, all the things that come with prepping, and I had this dire sense of dread. Even though I thought I had found the truth, I didn't realize that I wasn't. And so here I am at 58 years old, and I'm sitting in the middle of my best life. I've beat the drugs. I've beat the crime. Except for the illegal guns that I had, but the criminal lifestyle. I beat the criminal lifestyle. And I had a successful business where I was really helping people. Making more money than I've ever made in my life. Like, life is really good. And I was sitting in my bedroom with a pistol in my hand thinking about doing the unthinkable. Because I knew it was inevitable. I had absolutely no hope. Then I found Straight as the Gate website. Actually, a guy named Nikolai. And I can't even remember the video. But I do remember that I'd been in the Torah movement, and I messaged everybody that I could, like, hey, I got questions. Nobody responded. Nobody. First time I messaged him, he hit me right back. And we talked. And the very next day, I got rid of all of that stuff. And everything changed. It's been some ups and downs, but I've been in covenant since. And You know, I've learned that the church is lying to us. I've learned all kinds of stuff. But what I don't want to do is be back in that room again with that pistol in my hand. And this is the first time in my life where I've never felt that way. And it just still boggles my mind that it was obedience the whole time. Obedience to the 10 Commandments. Eat biblically clean. No pork, no shellfish. Keep the Sabbath. Saturday to Sunday morning. And teach others to do the same. What a long journey to get back to such a simple truth.